All right, and just like that, this is what I call good timing. He's on the MPW Digital TV Celebrity Hotline as we get done playing Heavy Blues. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to Randy Bachman. How are you, sir?
I'm great. How are things in Davenport?
Oh, they're just swell this morning, after a busy weekend. Randy, we're actually having a spring rather than going from like the winter to 90 degrees and humidity. So I'm loving it. It's great.
Well, yesterday in Toronto, we had winter. It snowed and hailed.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, my God.
The sun is shining and it's snowing, and people are saying, well, at least it's melting when it hits the ground,
Don't you love when they say that? Yeah, to justify it. Well, it could be worse. It could be sticking. So I just get done playing Heavy Blues, and I love what you're doing, Randy. So you're taking that song, and you're giving people an opportunity to jam on it, and then whoever does the best job will get to hang out with you, right?
Yes, if they get that song Heavy Blues from iTunes, there's also a free download of the song without Peter Frampton's solo, and he played such great guitar on that. I challenge anybody, you don't need to be as good as Frampton, just play in the right spots. I will then be viewing all the videos, which will be people should put up on YouTube, and if they go to randybachman.com or heavyblues.com, they'll be able to see this, or get Vintage Guitar Magazine, the May or June issue. Mm-hmm. The winner will receive a D'Angelico EXSS guitar, which is a fabulous guitar, a Supro combo amp, which is what I used doing the album. They use the old Supro amps, which have this incredible, great sound. They're not high wattage, so when you turn them up, they just really vibrate on the floor and kind of shake there, but they get that old-fashioned, great distorted blues sound, which I was trying to get on the album, trying to get a late 60s Cream Hendrix Who sound, where the amps weren't hundreds and hundreds of watts. They were like 50 or 60 watts, and you just put them up on FULL on 11 like they did in Spinal Tap. And so the winner will also get a $500 travel voucher to come to New York City to the D'Angelico showroom, which is where all the D'Angelico guitars are. They get their guitar. They'll be jamming with me there at the headquarters. It'll be on YouTube. They'll probably get 100,000 views on YouTube on the Vintage Guitar site, and between that and the Supro Guitar site. And this might be their chance at 15 minutes of fame. And then if they're really, really great, they'll get invited to the next two nights where I'm playing at B.B. King's club in New York City.
Holy cow. So, Randy...
That all happens at the end of June. So people have got to have their videos in by the end of May, which is like May 27th, 28th. So they should get on this now. Download the song Heavy Blues. Get the free one without Frampton. Sit there in front of your computer. I've got ones of little kids at 2 in the morning. I guess their parents are asleep in their underwear playing guitar and jamming out on this, and it's really fun to see. There's also a video up of, we ran this contest before, and there's a video up of maybe 80 or 90 guitar players, each playing a lick. So whoever enters, besides there'll be a winner, their little lick will be put in a gigantic Heavy Blues video that they then it might go viral, or they might just show all their friends.
I love it. And isn't it interesting, Randy, that in 2016 that this is such a viable way for someone that maybe just needs that break to get just that? I mean, it's such a great opportunity because there are so many people that are probably very talented, but just for whatever reason can't get the visibility that they need.
You can't get in the door of a lot of these. I wanted this to be like The Voice. It doesn't matter who's playing this solo, what age or what sex they are, or whatever, or what kind of guitar it is. If they've got the right feel, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a guy to play 3,000 notes. I want a bluesy feel like Frampton did in that take. And like I said, almost blindfoldedly, we picked the winner, and this will be their opportunity to get hundreds of thousands of hits on YouTube and get the profile in New York City. And wow, this could be something for somebody.
Yeah, I love it. Randy, when you decide to do something like this, do you have to call Peter Frampton and say, hey, buddy, listen, don't take this personally, but we're going to have people try and replicate your sound? It's more of a tribute, but was Frampton like, all right, that sounds cool, or was he a little miffed, or what?
No, I did a blues cruise with him this last January, that rock and roll blues cruise out of Florida. So I went to Turks and Caicos and back. So I was sitting there with him, and we were doing a radio show similar to this, like live. And then he came and joined me on stage, and I joined him on stage and said, I hope you don't mind him using your track. I want people to try to play your solo. And he looked at me and smiled, and he said, good luck. I challenge anyone.
I love the spirit of the competition.
I would challenge anyone. Also, if somebody really wants to get into it, the 7 guest soloists I have on my album, those songs are available without their solos on my website, because I had to mix the songs without the solos and send one to Neil Young, one to Robert Randolph, one to Joe Bonamassa, one to all my other guests. Like, you know, and luckily I got Jeff Healey, who had passed away, but I'd done a live album with him.
Right.
And I called his widow and said, "Can I use Jeff's tracks? I have a song that's in the same key, and it might fit rhythmically. And the thing with blues is you can play ahead of the beat or on the beat or behind the beat. So it was amazing that Jeff Healey's solo fit right in Confessing to the Devil. And now it's his 50th birthday is coming up at the end of May, and there's a big party here in Toronto I'm going to go to with all kind of guests, you know, showing up from Deep Purple and Jack Bruce's son and different people like that coming to honor Jeff Healey's 50th birthday. And his new album that's been hidden since he passed away for 8 years, has been in litigation.
Yeah.
So I have him on the album, on my on a track on this album was also a really big deal for him because he was a very good friend of mine.
Well, I love it. We have the album. We've played like 90% of it here at the radio station because we have local control and we can do that. And I just want to talk about one of the guests that you mentioned, Randy. That's one of my personal favorites and has been for a while. Robert Randolph. So that guy plays the pedal steel guitar, and just talk about Robert, because I feel like people we play Robert Randolph, people know about him in the area, but super talented, and I'm assuming a pleasure to work with.
Well, I met him when I got invited by Peter to play Frampton's Guitar Circus, and it was one in California, and the other one was at the Hollywood Bowl, which was really, really super fantastic. And on that show was Buddy Guy, myself, Robert Hidalgo from Los Lobos, and Robert Randolph. And he came out with his pedal steel, and he did I'm Going Down, you know, that old Jeff Beck, Rod Stewart version. And he basically laid on the stage and pulled the guitar over himself. Then he jumped on the guitar, and it was like seeing Hendrix. It was just amazing, and the sound he got. And when he was all done, I was just standing there in shock because I had to follow him, right? I was standing there in shock. And I said, man, that was just amazing. And we had a bro hug, right? And I said, you know, I'm working on an album now. Peter's going to play it. Would you like to do a track? He said, I would be honored. Just send me the track. So I came home and I thought, you know, so I read up on him. He's from the Church of Pedal Steel. I mean, his whole family, his father's the preacher.
Yep.
And in this church, can you imagine, they go and they play guitars. I mean, this was like the greatest church in the world. And so that's why I sent him that song, Oh My Lord. It's kind of like a bluesy gospel song. And he sent me a little note saying, I overplayed in this, and I did a longer solo. You pick what you want. When I heard it, I said, I don't care. This is a 3-minute song. I'm going to let your whole solo run. Because when you're sending a guy a track, you maybe take the solo section and you double or triple it so he can play and play and play and play and play. Then you go and pull out parts, just like you're cutting and pasting a document.
Sure. And
you put his solo to fit into this little 8 or 12 bar period. I let him roll for the whole thing. And when you hear Robert Randolph's solo, each pass, he takes you higher and higher, because he's going higher and higher on the neck, and he's playing more and more intricate, because you start out a solo, you compose it playing real slow, and you kind of play the melody of the song, then you get away from it, then you go up an octave, and you get faster and higher, and it gets very exciting, and then you're back to the song. His playing on there was so absolutely amazing. He also might be joining me at the B.B. King Club in New York City.
Oh, I love it. He's so talented.
The winner of this contest, who's there for the B.B. King thing in late June, could have the experience of their life to be on YouTube with me and Robert Randolph, and you never know that Frampton might be in town and might show up as well.
I love it. It's so great. And Heavy Blues, if you haven't picked it up and you're listening, just get it. You'll love it as soon as you start playing it. It's so good. VintageGuitar.com/rockoutwithrandy, RandyBachman.com. What a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'm so glad that you're doing this. And, Randy, I know that we got like less than 30 seconds. I just want to ask, Heavy Blues was so much fun to listen to and work on. Are you planning on a sequel to that, or what's coming up for you?
I was going to do a sequel, and then somebody said, why don't you go and do what radio stations should be doing? Do one called Heavy Pop, one called Heavy Rock, and then go and just get every influence that you had growing up. Because obviously we're all influenced by pop music, which came out of the 60s, right? Then the Beatles took it and twisted it and mangled it and made it great, and so did the Stones. And then it got very bluesy with the power trios. And then it became classic rock in the 70s, what you guys did into it. Why don't you do a heavy country album, like where you're really rocking out? And I go, that's a pretty good idea. So I'm going to I might be doing a series of heavies, like heavy blues and heavy country and then heavy pop, or I'm not quite sure. But I'm always writing songs. I'm always open to suggestions, and that's a good one.
Well, I tell you what, please keep doing it because what you're putting out is great, and I appreciate it as a fan, as a program director, and a morning show host for a radio station. We'll keep playing it. I'll tell you that much, okay?
Thank you. It's also out in vinyl. That's the reason for this resurgence. It came out in heavy vinyl, and it's incredible.
I can't wait to get it on vinyl. Randy Bachman, thank you very much, sir. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and good luck to everybody out there that's going to enter the contest, all right?
Thank you. Good luck to everyone.
Take care, buddy. Bye.
Bye-bye.